Okay, so I have another exercise for the next couple of days. Our old digger, and it is old, it's around here over 20 years. What the fuck was that? Yeah, it's around here over 20 years. And I just have a look what the weather did. Lifted the roof off it, opened it up like a bloody sardine can. It's gonna take a little bit of work. So that is the project for the next couple of days. I just have to cut what's there off and then come up with some idea how to re-roof it. I should have enough scrap around the place to do a kind of a decent job on it. And I have another exercise here, is this yoke. This is from Bangood. It's a welder. Now they tell me to do 250 amps. I've done a small bit of messing with it, not a lot. I think if we can get 150, that'd be about the size of it. So that's something I'm going to play with out there as well. I mean, you have these other welders here. I have that plasma cutter, MMA TIG machine, and there's a MIG next to it, which isn't great. Not my favourite type of welder. They're okay for certain things. Give me the stick job any day of the week. So that's the exercise for the next couple of days. Try and get that done. Might do a bit of filming as we go along, see what it looks like. Right folks, it's another day and I've got a bit of work done on this yoke, if you can see. Oh, we're getting at that roof. Those other pieces. One thing is, I am impressed with that cheap little Bangood Welder. Like what I've been welding here is it's pretty light stuff. You know? I mean, that thing is only, if you can see, it's about 1.25 millimeter. It's very light. It's about the same as the material on the machine itself, which is pretty, you can see, corroded. Right, now they're pretty long welds, those two welds. The top one there, now I just put some paint on that to keep it over, finished yesterday evening, keep it from corroding. And we have the other weld running right along underneath here. Now I did both those welds in one hit. One hit without, cooling down, switching off. A very good cycle period. The other thing was a very stable arc, especially when you're welding low and you're keeping it in tight, because I was basically welding 1.25 millimeter to this other thing is about almost 4 millimeter. Running a tight arc, it was very stable, very easy to work with. I'm really impressed with it, very impressed with it. And I did some of the other side as well, and again I painted over it. But yeah, that's what turned out to be a kind of an exercise on this machine, which needs a pile of work. It's turning out pretty well. Gotta get there. There's a lot more work to be done on it. But yeah, I'm impressed with that little welder. So I'll just show the welder itself. I don't think I showed it great the last day. I didn't expect what I have got from it. I thought, I'll probably get a 3-rod cycle or something like that before it has to cool itself down. But no, it works. I'm amazed with it, really. Very good. So I need to get at this, so I'll just do a quick bit on the other camera inside on the welder itself. As I say, very impressed with it. So we'll head into this place. This place is a bit of a mess. There's a couple of different jobs going on at the minute, so everything is just chucked around the place. So yeah, I'll just do just show this welder, stick it up on the bench here. You can see it. Okay, so this is actually the welder. Very impressed with this thing. It's small, it's tidy, it's everything. I actually saw this on the Bangood site. I think it was an introductory price. I think it cost me somewhere between 40 and 50 euro. The reason I bought it really was I have a job I have to do down in the hangar, which is about 200 odd meters from here. It doesn't have a power supply down there, so all I have to use is extension leads. And using one of the bigger, heavier welders there, on that length of extension lead, you'd probably have smoke. You'd probably have damage to the machine as well, not enough energy. So I decided to try this. And I have another job on the shed next to me here that has to be done high up on the roofs. That would be ideal. I mean, you can put a strap on that, hang it on, use the short leads. Now you get no leads with it. All you get is that short bit of a power cord, and it comes in a box. That's it. Nothing else. Now these are standard, and most people will have. You can buy them separate if you want to, but you probably get them in your local hardware for diddly squat of money. I would say, if you are buying, get a proper holder. Come out. You use one of these type of holders. I know if the camera's picking this up now. These are a much better holder than. Okay, they cost a few bob more than the little cheap clippy things that you normally get with welders. Get something like that. That's my 10 cent on that end of it. Now, I hadn't intended doing the video on this thing, because I'm actually trying to do something on just the repairs to the machine out there. But I've been impressed with this thing. Now, I was welding that roof. I just cut the whole roof clean off, and put on a frame. It's I think it's 3 or 4 inch angle, and then I'm welding this 1.25 I think millimeter plate. It was what I had. I probably should have gone away and got something, but yeah, this will do it. I mean, that doesn't go out and hire anything, just use around the farm, that machine. So once it's dry, it's fine. So I started welding, and I went on the near side first. I did that. I just tacked the whole thing down. Then I started welding. I put about 12 rods of these 2.5 rods at about 118 amp, and it's never shut off. It has a good duty cycle. I was amazed with it for its size. Okay, it does have a very strong fan. So switch it on there, you hear it. It is pretty noisy. There is a right cooling fan in there. That probably helps. But it worked flawlessly. Now, what I liked about it was very stable arc, very, very stable. It doesn't wander, doesn't weave, doesn't move. It just holds where you have it. You could practically just do a lay rod on it, where you'd lay one side of your rod, the heavier side, to the heavier metal, and let the other melt in with it. A dream to work with. I was highly impressed with it. I mean, I've got good other welders there now as well. And if I had to take one of those out, which is an ordeal to move them out there on trolleys and then getting longer leads, this you can take right up to the job, So I was just using the set of short leads I have there. They're just, I think they're about a meter. They're about a meter each in length, and you have to put it right up alongside you on the job. and for doing light stuff. Now, I did a job then yesterday evening. A guy came in to me. Now, I was welding 15mm plates, only a small bit. It still took, I think, 8 rods of 3.5s. And I was running that in at, I think, around 170. And it did the job perfect. It just, I happened to have it. It was live, let's say, at the time that this guy came with this bit of a bracket. Again, it was a small job, but this thing did it perfect. Now, will it do 250 amps? For its size, I don't think so. I didn't try it up there. Like, both that 15mm I was welding, like, yeah, that took heat and stuff to do it, and it did it, and it didn't, didn't switch off, didn't do anything. I left it run for a few minutes afterwards, knocked it off, and that was it. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with it. Very, very stable for doing light stuff. None, even that other big one that I have there with the MMA and TIG on it, which is a very good welder. I couldn't see doing it on the stick. It would do it on the TIG, yeah, no worries. But yeah, that's that. Better go back and go working on that machine out a while. We have some dry weather. Yesterday and today have been dry, which is unusual. We've seen nothing but rain for the past over a month. Have had a few winter storms, but we really don't get them until we get into January, February, and sort of March. All hell breaks loose then. So that's it. I can highly recommend that welder. If you want something light, you can do small, quick jobs. This is absolutely ideal. I'm happy I got it. I'm delighted with it. Delighted and impressed with it. Impressed to no end, actually. Brilliant. Okay, let's go do something.